Hello, everybody. This is probably the last video of the train, but we're going to be putting our train on a drawing file and making some dimensions as well as showing how the train goes together and what parts are where, that sort of thing. So let me share my screen and we can start. So here again, we should have a presentation view all set and ready to go. If I go File and then Open and look at my train file, I should see a presentation file as well as an assembly file. So both of those are what we're going to use. Okay, so I'm going to cancel out of that. I'm going to go File, New, and I'm going to pick Standard IDW. Okay, and then go Create. And now here I usually say, hey, go change the size of the sheet, but I'm not going to do that this time. We've got too much to do, too many things to mention. If we did it all, we would definitely want that. We would appreciate the larger sheet size for the more room to put things down. So we're just going to leave it as it is. And again, we're going to go Base. And then this little Find an Existing File button. Of course, we need to point to Train Justin Spaeth. And the first thing I'm going to put down is the presentation view. Just click OK, and it should pop one up for you. Okay, now this is 1-to-1. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm actually going to make this a little bit bigger. Let's see what 2-to-1 looks like. Yeah, let's have the whole sheet be this one. Okay, I think that's a great idea. Since it's 2-to-1, I'm just going to put the train presentation view on there. And I'm going to want to color it in because, you know, it looks nice colored in. So notice this little portion goes there. I'm just going to pop that over here. Okay, so there we have that. Now, a couple more things that I would like to do here, and we're going to go to annotate for this. One is I want to use balloons eventually, but I also want to put down, and I don't know if I'm missing anything. Nope. Okay. I want to put down a parts list. So hit parts list. And then, of course, I use this little drop down for this because it should be in there at this point. Hit that assembly file and then just click OK. Just say OK again. And we're going to pop this right in the corner. What is this parts list? It shows me all the different things that are on my train. So I need 4 axle pegs, 4 wheels, 2 linkage arms. All the quantities are in there. I don't have anything for description, so I don't really need description. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to right click on this and I should be able to edit parts list right here. And I can change what's in here. So if I click this first one, it says column chooser. I'm going to take description out, remove it. And then what I'm going to put in is material because I did change materials to some of these. I'm going to go OK and then hit apply and OK. Now notice maybe some of these don't look exactly right. If my column widths are a little off, I can just change them right here. I think that looks much better and make this as small as I need it to or as big as I want it to be. No big deal. But that's awesome information to put in there. Okay, how many of each we need and what material type they're made out of. Okay, and again, you can change these up to whatever you want. In the prints themselves, they had this and everything was ABS plastic, which is fine. That's great. But if you want to change yours up to what mine was, awesome. All right, so back to Autodesk Inventor. Next, I want to use the balloons to tell you which part is which, because coming upon this, if I said axle peg, you may not know that that's this little guy over here. So I'm going to take a balloon, and balloons are really, they're really easy, although they seem really hard. You're just going to click apart, drag up over here, and then double click. And there you go. It says number 2 on it. Why does it say number 2? Because number 2 is the axle peg. And there you now know that number 2 is the axle peg. Now, I'm not going to list every single axle peg as number 2. One of them alone is fine. So I want to see on here 1 through 9. Okay, so obviously train body, there's number 1. Magnet, hitch peg, a wheel. I've done 5 of them already. And sometimes when I double click, it doesn't even do it. This guy, this one, and this guy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, and the smokestack. There it is. And then to end this, I can either push exit or right click and cancel, and that'll do it. Okay, so that's what I want. This gives now the user, somebody who would say, well, how do I put this together? An idea of how it all goes together and what parts they should be able to see or have available to themselves in order to put everything together. Okay, very good. Now, a couple more things that I want to do here, and it may seem a little weird to do all this stuff at once, but we need a new sheet because this sheet is basically taken up already. So I'm going to go to Place Views, and I'm going to go to New Sheet. Okay, and on this new sheet, I'm going to go Base. And this time, I'm going to hit this little folder, and I'm going to find the train assembly, not the presentation, but the assembly. Okay, I think it's nice to show what it should look like from the side view and all the other, and some of the other views. I don't want this to be 2-to-1 anymore. I'm just going to go 1-to-1. Okay, and then the front view, I would say that this is a good front view, if you ask me, to where I'd want another view like this, maybe a top view, backside view, and then an isometric view. In fact, I don't like that isometric view. I'm going to take that one away. I'm going to make an isometric view over here and go okay. And then I'm just going to drag this guy over here. Okay. Now, I forgot to fill these in. So there we go. Filled in. Filled in. If you don't know how to do that or remember how to do that, just ask me and I'll help you out. But there they are. I think this looks really nice. Just what it should look like by the time somebody's done putting it together. Okay. The next thing that I'd like for us to do is dimension some of these. Okay. So let's pick an easy one to place down. Okay. Let's do the magnet. There's nothing more simple than the magnet. Okay. Good front view for the magnet looks like this. 19-to-1 is a bit large. So we'll go 4-to-1. And I'm going to give obviously a front view, side view, isometric view. And then I don't want these to be filled in with color. I would call this the magnet 4-to-1. I would want to say that that's at a different scale. And if I made these a little too large, I can always move this around. Okay, I can move this over here if I want it to. Let's move this guy and then move this closer. I think that looks good. And then let's put some dimensions on it. So again, annotate, dimension. There should be 3 dimensions here. Diameter, another diameter, and a thickness. So to me, that looks really good. Okay. Now, how should all of these look? I will have an example of what I want this to look like by the time we're done. And you can take a look at what I have and copy that as best you can. I'll probably have it up on the board, something like that, as people are going through it. I don't know that we're going to go through and dimension every single part, but I may, depending on time and how people are doing. But it definitely won't be for a grade having every single one of these dimensioned. So there may be some extra credit involved for people that do the rest of it. So take a look and listen to my instructions just to see what it is I'm asking for there. Now, the last thing is that, okay, I have this page up, but how do I get to the last page, the first one I made? Just double click on it. You can see everything here. The one that's highlighted is not the one you're in. So the one that is unhighlighted, ungrayed out, that's the one you're in. So double click sheet 1. There I am. Double click sheet 2. There I am. Okay, you would just want to save this up. And then if you would, put some text down here in the corner. Put your name, right? So Mr. Spaeth. If you need to change the size of the font, please do so. But just so that I know whose is whose, I would appreciate that. All right. Again, you would go File, Save As. And here, this is not a presentation file anymore. I would just call this the train prints. That's it. Yes to all, because I hadn't saved some of this stuff from before. So that's what we have. All right. Thanks, everybody.